Rivers, heavens won't fall if Fubara is impeached. Wike, welcome to Sinok Media. Are you viewing our channel for the first time? Please subscribe, like, and share our videos. Also, do not forget to put on your notification button so that you will be notified of our content. The political crisis in Rivers State took a dangerous turn yesterday as the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Chief Nyesom Wike, downplayed reported threats by some Ijaw-linked militant groups to blow up crude oil pipelines and hold the nation to ransom should Governor Siminalayi Fubara be impeached by the 27 members of the State Assembly loyal to him. In fact, Wike said heaven would not fall if the governor was impeached. This was as the Martin Amewule-led assembly, which shunned a reconciliation meeting called by the governor, barred Fubara from entering the assembly complex to present the 2025 budget, alleging improper communication. In a quick counter, Fubara said he was ready to represent the budget despite being locked out, insisting that he notified the House through Speaker Amewule. Meanwhile, the Ijaw National Congress, INC, once again reiterated its earlier position that if Fubara, an Ijaw was impeached for any reason, the consequences will be too heavy for the country to bear economically. Describing the lawmakers' action as reckless, the INC said Wike cannot drag the Ikwere and Ijaw nations into a tribal war. In like manner, the Pan-Niger Delta Elders Forum (PANDEF) described the legislators' action as provocative and an insult to Rivers people, as oil communities warned the lawmakers against igniting fire in the Niger Delta, while noting that no ethnic group had a monopoly of violence and that the state has the wherewithal to deal with criminal elements. Wike said the heavens will not fall if Fubara was impeached for constitutional infractions. The minister spoke during a live interview with some television reporters monitored in Abuja. While he described PANDEF as the worst organization for anyone to rely on, the immediate past Rivers State Governor also took a swipe at Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Mohammed, who he accused of using him to settle scores with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Wike said every ethnic group in the Niger Delta had the capacity to do whatever others are doing, warning that no one should arrogate to himself the monopoly of violence. He said, who has called for his impeachment? Who? If he has committed an infraction to be impeached, what is wrong? Is impeachment a criminal offense? Is it not provided for in the Constitution? Am I a member of the assembly? The point I am making is, if he has committed an infraction on the Constitution and the assembly deems it fit to say he should be impeached, then fine. Is he the first person that would be threatened with impeachment? Don't you know what to do? What's all this hula baloo about impeachment? I have heard people say if they impeach him, there will be a breakdown of law and order. Rubbish. Tell me, who are the militants? Who was born a militant? Tell me, who is a militant? Who cannot blow the pipelines? Why do you arrogate this power to a certain group of people? Are Ijaw people the only ones who can blow up pipelines? What nonsense is that? Who told you that Ogoni, Ikwere, and others cannot blow up pipelines? Why do you arrogate powers to people? Who is the one doing the contract of the pipeline surveillance? Is it not an Ijaw son? Is it not Tompolo, Tantita? They gave you the contract. You are Ijaw, and somebody will say Ijaw people will go and blow pipelines, and somebody will listen to that. How dare you threaten a country? Which threat? It does not exist. These are political thugs planted by some people in government. We know ourselves. You make an appointment as MD of NEDC, they threaten that they will blow pipelines. You make an appointment, they threaten again to blow pipelines. I have told people when the law speaks, all these are sawana and it's just spiritual chant will die. Let me tell you, Ijaw does not constitute the majority of the Niger Delta. People must speak the truth. Heavens will not fall. You only die once, not two times. What nonsense. Every day you wake up, Ijaw will do this, Ijaw will do that. In Akwa Ibom, Ijaw cannot be governor. In Delta, Ijaw is a minority. With all due respect to our late elder statesman, Edwin Clark, is from Delta. He never produced an Ijaw man to be governor of Delta. The only place Ijaw can be governor solely is in Bayelsa, not in Edo, not in Rivers. It was out of our own benevolence, the idea of live and let's live, that I said, look, we are working as a team. We are members of the same political family. Let us allow this to go to this area. If it is by strength, they cannot beat the Ogonis, they cannot beat the Ekpeyes, and they cannot beat the Ikweres. When people do something to bring people together, you appreciate it. In fact, when I brought this governor, they said no, that is not a real Ijaw man. If you are talking about Ijaw, the ticket should go to the Calabaris. How can you say if they want to give governorship to the Ijaw, that it should be the Opobos? And you closed your eyes and did it. And all those who fought me are the ones now parading themselves and deceiving him. Wike also slammed Fubara for writing a useless letter to the Martins and Mewule-led State Assembly, inviting them for a meeting at Government House in Port Harcourt, and also informing them of his intention to represent the state's annual budget. Describing Fubara as an insincere politician, the FCT minister, who was largely instrumental to making him governor, said, having been at loggerheads with the lawmakers for a long time, Fubara ought to know what to do rather than sending a subordinate to write them. Wike, who wondered how three lawmakers would sit and make laws for a state, said, we are talking about the Supreme Court. Do we need to go to the Supreme Court? In your own conscience, are you telling me three members will constitute a parliament? Asked to explain what happened during his tenure, when at a point he worked with five lawmakers, the minister said, that is not correct. You see, people should stop all this. Even when they say so, why not do your research? Remember, the assembly was inaugurated. Remember, there was a tribunal. The Court of Appeal nullified some seats. Before that time, the budget had been done. And then we did a rerun, and the assembly was full. If anybody tells you that I, as governor, presented a budget to a number that is not what is required by the Constitution, it is a blatant lie. Prove it. Prove with empirical evidence. Faulting Fubara's budget presentation move, Wike said, you have had a frosty relationship with an arm of government. If you are a good politician, will you go and write letters? Let us leave it at this point. But is Wike right in his statement? Let us forget about the messenger and concentrate on the message. Does this analogy make reasonable sense? Or are you looking at the wicked person to disregard the points he has raised? Don't you think the things he said are germane to the resolution of the crisis? And another thing to note, of recent, it has become like a blackmail, a threat to the nation by an ethnic group. And of course, you saw how Wike responded to that. Can the country be threatened over what should be the right thing to be done?